VTuber debuts. A VTuber debut is essentially a stream or a video where a virtual YouTuber introduces their avatar, persona, and content plans to a public audience. Most of the time, the key aspects of a VTuber debut are avatar and persona reveal, hype and community building, overlay, music, and content and roles. So in other words, it comes with a lot of stuff. And no, I'm not planning on making a big debut. However, I did plan on redesigning my VTuber, and while I was already working on that, I could also be adding other elements that happen to be included in most VTuber debut packages to my stream. So in this and the next 3 videos, I will be tackling those things, most of which I have never done before or not to that scale. In this video, I will be attempting to make a starting soon idle animation. Before I start with the actual artwork, I need to make sure that I have a plan of how the artwork should look and how I'm going to animate it. When it comes to the artwork itself, I start off doing some thumbnail sketches. For the artwork, I thought of 4 versions. The first one being a kind of more epic version, which hints at the artwork I made for my banners, for example, my X banner. Version 2 being just a simple my character with a sign that will say starting soon on it. Version 3, which would probably be the hardest to draw because I hate perspective, just simply my character throwing up a peace sign and just kind of working. And the 4th version being probably the simplest with a chibi and just the word starting soon. To make sure that I don't have to make a decision on what artwork to draw, I'm just going to ask my Discord hive mind. That is probably not alive anymore because I don't know how to keep a server alive. But while they decide what I will draw, I will explain to you all of the methods of animation that came to my mind and which one I ended up choosing. Method 1 would be using Krita's animation templates. Essentially, Krita already has the ability for you to make animations frame by frame. The problem with that is I would need to draw, maybe not every frame, considering I could probably copy and paste some of them, but I would need to draw the entire artwork multiple times. Method 2 would be to draw certain parts of the artwork on separate layers, then exporting those layers either as PNG or JPEGs, and then bringing them into Blender and somehow animate them there. The problem is, it would probably be possible, but generally speaking, I don't 100% know if it's possible. Method 3 would be similar to Method 2, but instead of Blender using DaVinci Resolve. And to be honest, if I were to choose Method 2 or Method 3, I would go for Method 2 because I'm more comfortable with Blender. And I haven't used DaVinci Resolve's animation. I don't even know how the tab's called, but essentially I haven't used DaVinci Resolve's animation abilities that much really. But I didn't choose one of those 2 either. Instead, I chose Method 4, which is to use Live 2D Cubism. Now, the ironic thing is I just said that I didn't use the animation abilities of DaVinci Resolve yet that much, which is ironic because I haven't used Live 2D Cubism at all. I know what it is used for, mostly for 2D VTubers to rig them, but I know that it does have an ability of animation, but I myself have never used this program up until now. But I do think, after I've done a little bit of research on it, that would probably be the best method to use. So I ended up going with Method 4, since that's the best for a simple idle animation. As you can see, the Discord hive mind has chosen thumbnail number 3, which, to be honest, I'm not really happy about because I hate perspective. But then again, I chose to go this way, so I need to stay committed to that. Since I'm animating in Live 2D, there are 2 ways I could do this artwork. I could first draw it and then cut everything and then redraw parts that you don't see in the default pose but that you might see when it's animated. Or I could start off drawing it layered, including the non-visible stuff, so I don't have to cut it afterwards. A little earlier you saw me put weird colors on the sketch. That was to generally map out what needed to be on a separate layer, because I decided to go with the second way of doing it, of drawing it already layered at the start. Now, if you remember the thumbnail sketches that I did, you might have noticed by now that the outfit that I am drawing for the actual starting soon screen is not the same outfit that was featured in the thumbnail sketches. And that is simply because the Discord doesn't, or generally my viewers don't know that I am currently working on a new outfit design. I did talk about it briefly on stream that I wanted to maybe remake something, but that was a long time ago and I didn't really go into detail as to what that would be. Going back to the artwork, I kept everything that I knew was going to move on its own layer. And just as a warning, please separate your left eye from your right. Do not keep them on the same layer, and also keep your upper and lower lash separated. I was intelligent enough to separate the eyes but not lower from upper lash. While writing the script, I haven't gotten to the animation part yet, so I can't tell you how keeping the lashes together is working out for me. To be honest, younger me would have probably loved doing this layered approach since she did layers for almost everything, but current me is not happy working on this. I've just gotten more used to using almost a no layers approach, but I somehow got it done even though it is not as detailed as I would like it to be. Now to bring it over to Live2D, I exported it as a PSD file because Live2D needs your artwork to be a PSD file so you can work on it. I also want to add about my right hand, the pen hand, that I do actually hold my pen incorrectly. So that is lore accurate, if you want to call it that way. Now then, as you can see, a very beautiful time lapse of approximately 6 hours, which I've put into 6 minutes. Let's go. Let me tell you, 4 minutes / 4 hours, a little bit more, I needed just for the rigging, not even for the animation. For the rigging, I used, or even before I started, I think that's a better way to say it. I watched the How to Video series of Cutie Dragon, and it's how to make an animated emote using Live2D. I mean, yes, this is not an emote. This is a starting soon animation, but it was kind of really hard to find starting soon animations that also, or videos on starting soon animations that also included the rigging part. Now, of course, half of the time I don't even know what I'm doing. A little bit later in the time lapse, when I do the hands, I first start doing the hands, and then I was just like, hold on, I want to move the whole entire arm, and then I need to redo it. I basically redoing stuff multiple times. And I'm just using my Blender UV mapping knowledge to kind of place the vertices, if these are even called vertices. I'm calling them vertices. I mean the points, to just put them to kind of make clean meshes. I did use the auto mesher, but I didn't really like the meshes, so I just cleaned them up, as you can see very wonderfully here. I should have sped up the time lapse, but I also didn't read a script for this because I was just like, I'm gonna do the voiceover while looking at this because I don't know how to write this into a script. Now over here you can see me trying to rig the hands. This is the part where later on I was just like, wait, hold on, I want to move the entire arm. And yeah, it turns out that was the moment that I then used the formers after that. When I had the epiphany that ayo, I want to move the whole entire arm. As you can see over here, this is one of my attempts to close the eyelids. Not the eyelids, I'm stupid, the eyelashes. And yeah, I tried to do this multiple times. Now the end result of it doesn't look entirely shit. It also doesn't look entirely perfect, but it's the first time, and yeah, I should have most definitely kept the upper and lower lash separate. And before somebody comes into the comments and is like, "Ayo, you can just copy and paste movements of meshes," of deformers. I just want to tell you that this is the free version. You cannot copy parameters. Wait, how are they called parameters? Yeah, they're called parameters. From one to the other, so I can't copy and paste the parameter of the left eye to the right eye. That doesn't work. It doesn't allow that. And yeah, over here I'm trying to animate the arm movement, and then I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I want the whole entire arm to move, and if the whole entire arm moves, then obviously the hand needs to also move with that. And with that, I use the power of the deformers. I do some also hair animation, slide hair animation, because gravity is a thing. And I bring it over to animation. That was actually the part that I spent the least amount of time on. I spent like an hour and 15 minutes on it. When I looked back into how long my video material of that is, I spent an hour and 50 minutes on it. It's compared that the whole entire thing of me being on live 2D is like approximately 6 hours long. That's amazing. And yeah, I'm just animating and putting in keyframes and hoping that it looks good, rewatching it like 1,000 times. And somewhere along the lines, I was just like, yeah, this looks cool, but this is a little bit short. And turns out you can just make the time of the animation longer and then have all of the keyframes scale to that. So not being repetitive, but they kind of, if you have made the animation for, let's say 2 seconds and you want it to feel 4, then you can just move the keyframe movements with graphs. Don't ask me to explain it. This is my first time doing it, and I saw that it could be done, and I used it because I made my animation too short. Alright, final thoughts. Is it perfect? No. Does it work? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. Did I think those approximately 6 hours that I spent in Live 2D felt like an eternity? Yes. Did I learn stuff? Also yes. So all in all, I could say it was a success for the first time trying this out. I'm pretty proud of what I did. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though I kind of went overboard with all of the animation stuff in the video. I know I went overboard with it, but okay, I just figured out how to use keyframes in DaVinci Resolve, okay? I knew I went overboard. And to make sure that I don't have to make a decision on what artwork to draw, I'm just going to English.